So tell me how Cock Project got started. Like, you were telling me that there was a conversation with a friend of yours, and that after this conversation, you just got this huge inspiration and it all poured out of you. So will you tell me about that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was with my good friend. His name is Matt, and we were just having this really beautiful evening, just sharing, talking about all kinds of personal, deep things. And he shared with me that he was really exploring his sexuality, and so he was going to these workshops around stroking women's clitoris, and he said to me, "Well, what about the cock?" And I was like, "That's a really great question." And so then I asked him, "So tell me about your cock," and he was like taken aback and shocked or frozen or he seemed upset that I asked him that. And he said, "Well, what do you mean? What about my cock?" And I said, "Well, you just said, what about your cock? So
What about it?
Tell me about your cock."
Yeah.
And the way that he froze and the way that he was just like unable to share so openly anything about his cock or sexuality or anything he wanted to share with me, it just hit me like this, like, holy crap. The men have been left out of this conversation. Holy crap, I've never actually been curious about what it's been like for men. Here is this man who's exploring his sexuality, who's open and willing to go to these workshops and classes, and I ask him a simple question about his cock, and he is just completely frozen. How many more men behind him is that the case?
Yeah.
And what is the implication of our men not being able to voice? Or what is the implication of us not being curious and us not asking them, or it even being a public talk, a common thing in our culture for us to talk about? So I immediately went online and started looking up to see if there was a reverse option for men for the vagina monologues, and a couple people have attempted it, and then there's and what was even more painful is that there were several attempts, but they were like fallacy, or they were parodies.
Yeah, jokes.
They were jokes.
Yeah.
Like like they deserve to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. And your name is?
And my name is Hazel Grace Yates.
Yeah. And it's really clear how much you care. I'm tearing up listening to you. It's really clear how much you care that men get an opportunity to tell their stories and explore their bodies, explore what having their genitals mean in today's society, and you care what
and I care that women hear that.
Yeah.
And other men hear that too. Because there's so much power and healing for normalization, for them to know that they're not alone, that whatever they experienced,
right,
there's lots of them out there. It's just not being talked about. So the invitation is just for us to have these outward conversations of really normal things.
Yeah, and because their early experiences about their cocks affect their hearts and affect their sexuality and affect how their self-esteem, their self-image, it affects their integration of their bodies and their hearts and their minds, which in turn affects how they are with women, and it affects how they are with other men. So to me, this is a crucial conversation. It's a crucial conversation that we need to be having. It's core to how men and women interact, and how men and men interact, and how men hold themselves as whole beings in our culture, in their own minds and hearts, and in our culture. I'm super grateful to be that you're doing this. I'm super grateful you started this conversation. I'm super grateful you're doing this work, and I'm fucking honored to be doing it with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.